Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, All Things Home. I'm JC, and today I'm hoping to give you some ideas on how you can refresh your space on little to no budget by shopping within your home. So I'm sharing 10 home decor pieces that I have moved around in my own home. If you enjoy watching, please go ahead and like this video below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Let's get started. So you might have been gifted a home decor piece that you really love, or you may have even just bought one, and the home decor that you have in the space where you want to put it, like the accent decor, just doesn't complement that new piece very well. Or say you may just want to refresh the style of your home or your space completely. So instead of buying all new home decor and getting rid of what you have in that area, I'm going to show you 10 pieces that I have moved around in my home to give it a refreshed look with very little or no budget at all. Just to give you a little backstory on our home, when we first moved in, we were very into like an industrial farmhouse style. We had wrought iron and a good amount of galvanized pieces, and we have since moved away from that, and I really wanted to get back to kind of the bones of the home and the details that were already in the home, which the home kind of has a lot more like traditional details on some of the trims and the woodwork, and so I just wanted to complement those a little bit better. So I would say now we're kind of in to more of a transitional modern farmhouse style with our home decor. I am looking for a more natural feel, so a lot more neutrals and just more simplicity. So like I said, instead of buying all new home decor, you can really just move pieces around in your own home to get a totally different look, and so that is what I did. It's okay to move pieces around to find out where they look and feel best. So moving to the decor pieces, number one are actually right behind me, these picture frames that are up on our shiplap wall in our living room. I did add a few here, which you can see one of them still does not have the picture in it. I was waiting until our baby girl was born because I knew that I wanted to include her in those photos. So I have 3 more to fill and finally have the pictures to be able to fill them. I just need to order them. So I'm excited to have that wall complete finally. 4 of these pictures used to be up on the opposite wall on each side of our fireplace, and then 1 was just in a different location, and I had 1 other larger piece, which is actually another piece that I moved around. However, with these picture frames, I just wanted to give a more uniform look for this bigger wall. It used to have 3 larger pieces on it, more of kind of like a collage, and I just, like I said, I really wanted more of a simplistic, uniformed look, and so I knew moving these picture frames to that wall would just help give that look that I was looking for. I can say if I was buying brand new, I may have just done 6 larger format frames. However, I wanted to use what I already had, and so just doing a total of 8 was the way for me to go. The next 2 I'm going to do together because they were in the same location and now they're kind of in the same location. So these 2 pieces were actually up on this shiplap wall before, and now I have moved them to where the picture frames were. So just simply swapping these and moving the frames to this new wall opened up the walls next to the fireplace and helped me just to simplify those as well with larger pieces. Number 4 are these green wall hangings, and these were the larger pieces that were up with the frames next to the fireplace, and once I took all of those down, I really didn't know where I wanted to put these, but I liked them and I liked the color and the texture, so I played around with these a little bit to see where I liked them best. I originally tried one in our guest bathroom and didn't love it, and planned to put one up in our guest bedroom in the basement. However, that is a work in progress, so it was just kind of sitting down there. So I knew on these shelves I wanted to add a little bit of height, and so turning one of them horizontal just really gave that height without it being so drastic. And it also added a little bit of different texture over there as well. With the other one, leaning up against the clock just helped to give more height variations and also brought, again, some added texture over there as well. Number 5 is this Lazy Susan, and I originally had this on our island and tried a few different things with it. I had a pitcher that either had florals or wooden spoons in it. I had a porcelain bowl that we kept some fruit in, or I had a cake stand, and then I just either had another piece of smaller greenery or a picture frame, and it just never seemed to be as functional as it could be, and it was a little big for our island, so I feel like whenever we were prepping, we always kind of wanted to move it off of the island, which obviously shows that it's not fulfilling its purpose like it should be. So I finally got the idea to move it to the table, which I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. It seems to be perfect for the table. We have our florals on it, we added some salt and pepper shakers, and some coasters as well. Something that you can easily spin around so that everyone at the table can read what's on it. Number 6 are these barn doors that I have in my son's room. When we first moved in, these were actually on the wall where the kitchen shelves are now, and I originally took them off because that wall just was not functional, and I had cookbooks that were just stacking up on my table that I was gifted, and I wanted to keep the good ones but just didn't have a place for them, so that was originally why I put those shelves up. And so these barn doors ended up not having a place. However, right around the time that we took them down, we were designing my son's room and thinking about what we were doing in there. And when we decided to do kind of more of a rustic, a little bit of a cow theme, I figured these doors could work well in there just to add a little bit more texture to the walls. Number 7 is this little tree that we added to my daughter's nursery, and this was originally in our living room as well, and once I got it and put it in there, it was kind of short, and so I have been planning for about a year to get a large pot that I could raise the tree up on to add some height to it, and I had just never gotten around to actually getting one because it was not a top priority, and I eventually ended up finding a larger tree that was on sale, so I just bought that one. So now I didn't have to worry about finding a larger vase or pot, and I knew I would use this smaller tree somewhere else, and so we just moved it to our daughter's nursery. And the height for the smaller tree just easily works with the space. Number 8 are these baskets that sit on my daughter's dresser in the nursery. When we were pretty much done with the nursery, I realized that one of the things I didn't have was a diaper caddy that we could put all of the necessities on top of the dresser because we didn't have a drawer that was available to fit all of those things either. So I started searching on Amazon and at Target, and honestly, I just really didn't feel like spending any more money, and I figured I could find something around my house that would work for the function that I needed it to. And this wooden basket used to be in our living room, just on the floor by the fireplace, not really serving that much of a purpose. So I knew that this one would work well with its shape and just adding a little bit more texture in there. And then this rope basket used to be in our guest bath in the closet, and it just didn't have much in it anymore. Another thing I need to reorganize. But since it really wasn't being used at that point, I figured this was a great second addition to that. They were different enough in texture that they didn't compete with each other, but still about the same shape that they worked well on the dresser together. Number 9 are these frames that I have above my daughter's crib with these graphics in them. And this is a fun one because when we first moved in, going back to our living room on the two sides of our fireplace, I originally had these 2 frames with 2 smaller frames because trying to furnish and decorate a new home can start getting expensive. And so I came up with the idea to just thrift some frames, paint them white, and put them up on the walls with some pictures in them so that the wall could still have something and not be so empty, but it was totally cost effective at the time. So once I finally changed out that decor, I didn't want to get rid of these frames because I knew that we had some spaces around our home that still needed decorating, and I know how expensive frames are. And the fact that these were 2 of the same, I just wanted to keep them around a little bit longer. So when we were decorating my daughter's nursery, I still was undecided on what to put above her crib. So I was looking on Pinterest for just some ideas and inspiration, and although 2 frames above the crib is not a unique idea. Sometimes you just need to see something a few times to get your brain to think of some of its own unique ideas and how you can make that work. Because again, I didn't want something that was super common and unoriginal. However, I remembered these frames that I had, and so just finding a good graphic from Etsy that would work well with her room and adding her name to it was just the perfect simple decor to add above her crib. Finally, number 10 is small greenery plants. And honestly, this isn't a big one, but I do this a lot because when I'm moving things around or adding things in, sometimes with the varying heights and textures of the greenery, one plant just might work a lot better than another with the home decor piece that you're putting it by. So it's fun to just kind of play around with these and move them around. Sometimes they just work better in a new location when you style your decor differently. So this one was originally in our living room, but when I was adding in the details for our daughter's nursery, I needed a plant right here, and this one just worked the best right here. And now I have something totally different on our coffee table. So those are 10 decor pieces that I moved around within my own home. I'm sure there are other pieces that I have moved around or that I will move around. It's just fun to kind of refresh a space, but use items within your own home. So that wraps up this video on some ideas on how to shop within your own home. I hope you guys get inspired and give your space a little bit of a refresh too. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to like this video below and follow us for more budget-friendly home decor and design tips and DIY projects. See you guys.